Well, hey folks, listen, do you love the Crave? I do, but the problem is I've been cheating on it a lot lately with the Bokeh, and I just picked up a new one at Disc East. And so today I want to figure out, should I stick with the Bokeh or bring back the Crave? Let's talk about it right after the intro. Okay, one of the struggles with doing stuff like this is finding a place where I can throw these where people aren't in the middle of the fields. And I went to 3 other fields before I came here. So we're gonna make do with what we've got here. I'm at Valleydale Church in Birmingham. And because of the sunlight, there are actually people down at the other end there. So I wanted to start down here. Hopefully I'll switch next go around. It'll be a little easier to see coming this way. But the sun is right there. So I'm using these branches to block the sun, but it also means I've got to make a low shot through this thing. But that's perfect to test these out. I've got 2 Bokehs and I've got 5 Craves at different stages of beatness. So some of them are almost brand new and some of them have been loved quite a bit. So we're gonna see how they do. And then I may pull in, I've got a Leopard 3, I've got a Rhythm, and I've got a T-Bird 3 that I might pull in to see how they do, but let's see how the old arm and the body go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the Craves, and I will start with my first one that I got at the Space Race in 2024 when I fell in love with the Crave, and then we'll work through there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to, let's get this over a little bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to send it right down through the pipe there. This is what we want this to do. It's just a nice straight shot right down the middle. See how it flies. Just a little turn, then it settles down and fades back a little to the right. And that's what I expected from that one. It had a little bit more of this and then faded out like that. The next beat one, oh, I kind of dragged that one across. Hope you can see that was not a great throw. Kind of pulled it across. All right. That's better. I got that one a little nose up, so it's dragging a little bit back to the left at the end there. Still a good flight. If I'd put that on edge, it would have cruised. All right, pretty much a brand new one. Good flight. Also a little nose up, but they're still just riding out there. They've got, you can see they've got a little more stability then, a little more fade at them because they're new. And then a brand new one, I don't think I've even thrown it. Doesn't even have any markings on it. Now this one is a 168. I think most of the other ones are about 170. I'm gonna try to get a good one on this one. Yep. I released a little on hyzer out here. Didn't quite get as much flip up as I was expecting, but it just, these are just straight shooters. And now the 2 Bokehs. This one I've been playing with a good bit. This is the one I've been trusting a lot and loving it. I got it at MVP Open this year. Got a little higher, but it wasn't a bad nose angle. And yeah, so the Crave is a 6.5, and these are a 7, I believe. But it's just got a little more push, a little more dome, and a little more push. All right, inaugural throw. I haven't thrown this one before. Touched the branches just a little bit, but still got a good throw. And that still went probably farther than the other guys. All right, let's go see how they did. Well, poop. I did this whole thing and I didn't record it. Basically what happened was when I came down here and checked the flights of the discs, all the Craves that were a decent throw were about 15 feet short of the Bokeh. The Bokeh got a little bit farther, which makes sense, but they were averaging about 350 feet to 365 maybe, really probably more like 355 to 340 first throw out of the car with a little stretching, but that's not bad. The fact that they were all right there together, but the Bokeh, both the Bokehs were almost on top of each other and about 15 feet farther. So yeah, let's run it back again. And I've stepped back a little bit more now that the folks have gone, and you can actually see I'm not going to throw in the sun. Hopefully this will be better. All right, going with the flippy Crave. Oh, little nose up. I kind of drag through that. You can see it going up and then just fading off. My footwork, I'm not trusting. The ground's a little wet and I'm trusting. I got to drive through. Here we go. That's better. A little flip up. Now ride, ride, ride. You can see there's a headwind hitting it, but that was good. I trusted that one a little more and drove through it. A little nose up. Boy, that's just dragging. I'm not confidently driving through my shoulder. All right, here we go. Let's get a good throw before this wind comes. Nice and low that time, and it's just going to cruise. Yep, let's face it, that's what we want. We want nice straight shot. I kept that one a little too low to make up for the nose angle. All right, let this puff of wind come through. Now, here we go. That was a good one. Ooh, got a good ride. Yep. So that white post, if you can see it out there, is about 350. So that's kind of where these are landing. All right, now the MVP open. Oh, you never saw that. I tried to throw that one too hard. Let's play smooth. Let's play smart, Pete. I was going to fade a little bit nose up, but still. The nice thing about both the Crave and the Bokeh is they're reliable. They're just smooth. They just want to go out there. In some ways, it kind of reminds me of my old T-birds that I had that I just could trust on, I could lean on. All right, let's go get them, throw them again. So right away, before you even really kind of finish doing all this, because I have thrown both of them enough, that's why I've been throwing the Bokeh more than the Crave, because it's just that little bit farther. And most of the time, once I'm pulling out a Crave or Bokeh, I want to push through some stuff and I want to get nice, straight, controllable distance. And so I don't mind having that little extra distance. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying the Bokeh. And what's funny is I wasn't paying any attention to what other people were saying about it. I just fell in love with it, and then I found out a lot of other people are in love with it too. So definitely something to check out. All right, let's do it again. And what's funny is the branches are actually helping me shape my shot and keep my nose down a little bit better. Sometimes boundaries are helpful. And we also got a little bit of a tailwind, so it's giving us a little help going down there. Just right down the middle, let it slide, and let it ride. Yeah, that's what I love the Crave for. It's funny. I thought the Space Race was a more understable one, but I think that one's more understable. All right. Touch nose up, as you can see by the finish, just went out and faded off. Boy, I would love to see that one just, I mean, we're talking a degree or two, just and let it cruise. Yep, that's a better one. That's a better one. Yep. Right on out there. Just about skipped over the top of the first one. And then finally the newest one. Ooh, that one a little lower, but hopefully it's just going to scoot. Give me a little skip at the end. Yep. I mean, those are nice. Let's face it, I'm old. I hurt my rib. I haven't been playing for like the last 2 weeks, so my timing's just been a little bit off. I played clay today, one disc round with my Berg round, and I could tell I was just a little bit off today. So it's nice just trusting these guys to do the work. All right, now the Bokeh. The car got me, car got me. So I dragged it over a little bit, caught the like 3 needles on the branch right there and pulled it over to the right a little bit. So it would have been much better if I hadn't touched that branch. Oh, I dragged both of those over. That was me, not the disc. Let's face it, I was trying to put a little more booty on it. And when I was trying to let them shine a little more. Okay, there's bias there. I'm really liking the bokeh. So I'm hoping that it's gonna just go, oh yeah, pick me, pick me. And so I'm trying to give it a little more oomph. And you see what happened? I kind of gave it a little more cheek. All right, let's go see how we did. Basically pulled both of those bokehs. I'm gonna go run, throw them 50 feet further and then go, oh, look, they're further. I mean, let's face it, you can't go wrong with the Crave or the bokeh. This is just more of a glamour highlight, both of them, how smooth they are. They're just smooth this. Eddie, are you okay? Is it Eddie or Annie? God, Annie, are you okay? Eddie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Whew, you know how you misremember stuff? Annie, are you okay? Will you tell us? Was you okay, Annie? I think it's Annie. Y'all let me know in the comments and tell me what you're commenting about, because sometimes y'all will leave a comment to something I ask and I forget all what I asked, and you'll leave a random response. It'll be the right response, but I won't know what the heck you're responding to, and I'm like, what the heck is this person saying? And then you're just answering my question, but I can't remember what I say 15 minutes later, much less, you know, a week later when this thing comes out. So help me out. And now I'm singing Help Me Rhonda, so, you know, got that going for me. All right, so here's the deal. The bokeh's caught the tree coming in here, but then you've got the Crave, 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 Crave. They're all almost on a line, and that's about 360 feet from where I was throwing. And so these would have gotten about the same distance, maybe a touch more if it hadn't hit anything, who knows. But yeah, they're all just very nice and predictable. They're all kind of hanging out there together. So even with a little tree scrub at the end, the bokeh was only 10 feet shorter than the longest Crave. So yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Those numbers actually kind of work. I don't know the rest of the numbers. I just assume whatever the Crave numbers are that I can't even remember. I think they're 6, 5 minus 2, 2, 2, 1. Let's see, surely I marked it down somewhere. Let me go grab them. Aha, 6.5. 5 minus 1, 1. So I don't know if the bokeh numbers have come out yet, but I would say probably 7.5 minus 1, possibly 2. But I think it's just one notch up, like a half a speed above the Crave, in my opinion. That's kind of how I think of it. Remember, I don't get so bogged down on the numbers. I get focused on how they fly. And I think Crave, bokeh, just above them. And then you've got the trail. They're all kind of in that special slot of just trust them down the line, just let them boogie. Also, these 4 trails, the one trail, the space race flipped over more. Okay, no, that makes sense. The space race is more flippy and went over to the right a little bit. But these other 4 were within 6 feet distance of each other and only about 15 to 20 feet distance laterally. So they all went the same distance and stayed almost on the same line with just a little bit of variation this way. And that's nice. That's what you want. You want consistency in your discs. All right, so now I want to do a quick comparison. I'm going to take 2 Craves, the 2 bokehs, and I'm going to throw in a brand new Halo Leopard 3, a very lovingly used Rhythm, which is a 7.5 minus 2, 1, and then a T-Bird 3, just to see how they compare, because let's face it, there's so many good discs out there. So I'm going to start with the Craves. That's the one right there. There's a little nose up on the first one, but that's a nice straight shot with a reliable fade at the end. All right, now the bokeh. Oh, just straight down the middle. All right, new Bokeh. Yeah, nice. All right, T-Bird 3, Halo T-Bird 3. A little low, and it's a little more stable, so it's gonna fade out early. I didn't give it the best throw. I was trying to keep it low. All right, Leopard 3. Another nice one. I started a little left, so I faded a little bit more at the end. And then finally the rhythm. I love the rhythm as well. You can dance to the beat of it, but watch out, it may get you. Turn that just a little bit with that -2. That's in the deep doo-doo. Yeah, I gave it a little bit of Anheuser and kind of pulled it over a little bit, and that -2 just wanted to keep holding it that way instead of fighting back a little bit. And that's, you know, rhythm. It's supposed to have a little bit more understability. All right, let's go grab them. Okay, so the final results, the longest one was the prototype that went about 375. Then you've got the other Bokeh right here, and they all went a little bit farther. The next farthest was the Leopard 3. Then we've got the Crave and the T-Bird 3 is against the pole over there. Now, I think the distance in some ways was because these faded out a little bit harder where these carried a little straighter. So they're all right there kind of in that same zone of distance. So like I said, it really is coming down to flavor and taste, how you like it. The Crave and the Bokeh, they're really almost neck and neck, with the Bokeh just being slightly farther, but then you've got the, you know, the T-Bird 3, you've got the Leopard 3, you've got the, what was the other one I threw? Oh, that reminds me, I gotta go get the rhythm that I lost the rhythm. So let me go find that one. But anyway, I hope that helps give you a little bit of taste of where the Bokeh fits in the pantheon of stuff. It's basically a T-Bird, Crave, T-Bird 3, you know, in that sweet area where we kind of, that's our go-to dish when we want to know that we can rely on it and throw it out there with decent distance, but good control, good reliability. These are the dishes we reach for. Hope that helps, and hope to see you out on the course.